Ini boleh. The World Health Organization (WHO) is warning young people all over the world that they are also at risk from COVID-19. Jadi nggak boleh kayak gini. The World Health Organization is nggak boleh. Harus seperti ini. Yeah. The World Health Organization (WHO) is warning young people all over the world that they are also at risk from COVID-19. I'm Anto Vincent, and right now we are at Hidayah TV9 News. Jadi nggak boleh kita bahasa tubuhnya nggak boleh seperti ini, nggak boleh. Ya, nggak boleh gini loh, bungkuk loh, harus tegak. Nggak ojo sangkuk ini ojo. Tapi juga jangan terlalu tegak atau jangan terlalu miring ini. Jangan, ya. Jangan itu nanti malah nggak baca berita malah poset. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Bagus Handoko. This is the news. The World Health Organization (WHO) is warning young people all over the world that they are also at risk from COVID-19. The WHO said young people are not exempt from catching the coronavirus. Many young people mistakenly believe they will not catch the virus because of their age. They think it is a disease that only older people catch. The WHO said the truth is that young people are catching the coronavirus and becoming ill or dying from it. It added that young people are also spreading the disease to their parents, grandparents, and other people. The White House also urged young adults to follow advice and to avoid gathering in large groups to help prevent the spread of the viruses. The Director General of the WHO said, "Today, I have a message for young people that this coronavirus could put you in hospital for weeks or even kill you. Even if you don't get sick, the choices you make about where you go could be the difference between life and death for someone else." The WHO said a significant proportion of patients treated in hospital for COVID-19 around the world are aged under 50. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said many young people are not following the state social distancing rules. He told young people that this is a public health issue and you cannot be endangering other people's health. For the next news, conservation experts are saying that the trade in wildlife could be greatly cut after the coronavirus pandemic has finished. They say that the virus probably started at a market selling wild animals in China. The virus came from either a bat or an animal called a pangolin. It then crossed over to infect humans. The conservation group Human Society International said the consumption of wild animals which can carry diseases that can cross the species barrier poses a real threat to human health. The Wildlife Conservation Society called for a ban of animal markets that trade in wildlife. It said not only will this help to prevent of the spread of disease, it will address one of the major drivers of species extinction. A spokesman from the Zoological Society of London said animal markets could be time bombs. He said the markets can provide perfect conditions for new viruses to start and grow. He added that if we treated animals like goods to buy and sell, we would be in the trouble again in the future. Scientists say many new outbreaks of viruses start in animals. About 75% of new infectious diseases come from animals. Recent examples include SARS, MERS, and Ebola. Infections from animals cause millions of illness and deaths worldwide every year. And an expert said the world must act soon because realistically, it's just a matter of time before the next zoonotic disease emerges. That's all the news. I am Muhammad Bagus. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Bagus from Madrasah Aliyah. This is the news. The United Nations has come up with a plan to help slow the spread of COVID-19. The United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP, said the world's poorest people should get a basic income. It said the introduction of a temporary basic income for the world's poorest people could slow the current surge in coronavirus cases. The money would allow around 2.7 billion people to stay at home. This would reduce the chances of them spreading the virus. The UNDP suggested giving the income to poor people in 132 developing countries. The cost of this would be around 199 billion per month. It said unprecedented times call for unprecedented social and economic measures. The UNDP said the basic income would mean directing money to people instead of economics. It said bailouts and recovery plans cannot only focus on big markets and big business. A temporary basic income would allow governments to give people in lockdown a financial lifeline, inject cash back into local economies to help keep small businesses afloat, and slow the devastating spread of COVID-19. It pointed out that the poor are the hardest hit by the pandemic. There are huge numbers of people without social insurance and many workers without contracts. There are also many low-wage women and young people. It also refugees, migrants, and people with disabilities need financial help. The next news. Kamala Harris is the U.S. Vice President-elect. The major television networks in the USA have announced that Joe Biden has won the 2020 U.S. election. They said Mr. Biden has 279 votes in the Electoral College, which is enough for him to be elected as America's 46th president. Ms. Harris will be the first woman in United States history to hold the post of vice president. She will also be the first black American and the first of South Asian descent to hold on the post. Harris simply tweeted, "We did it, Joe Biden," she added. This election is about so much more than Joe Biden or me. It's about the soul of America and our willingness to fight for it. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Let's get started. Kamala Harris has been a rising star in the Democrat Party for the last 2 decades. She served as California's Attorney General before becoming a U.S. Senator. She ran to become the nominee for the 2020 Democratic presidential campaign but lost to Joe Biden. However, Mr. Biden chose her as his running mate. They will be sworn in as president and vice president on January 20th. Jamali Hill, writing in the Atlantic magazine, she said that Harris' action to the vice presidency is certainly a reflection of what's possible. She has accomplished something that no other black woman has. I can't help but daydream about Harris someday stepping one level up to the presidency. I am Muhammad Bagus. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.